Here at Hartsfield-Jackson, travelers seem to be getting more comfortable with the idea of international travel, but an Emory expert tells me there's a whole lot to consider before booking that trip abroad.
As a travel health epidemiologist, I'm always suggesting folks look for the lowest risk, situations that fit your needs.
As the CDC eases travel guidance for vaccinated Americans flying internationally and health experts weigh in on what to expect, travelers tell us they're just ready to take the plunge.
Bought 8 tickets so far for the same flight, and still trying to get out of here.
I feel like I've taken all the precautions. I got the vaccine and have all of my necessary supplies to stay safe.
Meanwhile, the director of Emory's Travel Well, a research leader in travel medicine and tropical diseases, says a traveler needs to approach this new phase in the world of opening back up with this guidance in mind.
Boils down to first thinking about yourself and your personal risk tolerance.
The expert strongly advises that international travelers be vaccinated and review CDC's most up-to-date travel recommendations. He also suggests that vaccinated travelers carry a digital and paper copy of their COVID vaccination card. Since all international travelers are required to get a negative COVID test prior to their return flight to the U.S., he suggests still practicing hand hygiene, mask wearing, and distancing even if you're vaccinated. Travelers tell me they're ready to do whatever it takes to be able to indulge in travel once again.
The same. We're very prepared, and I am vaccinated as well. And everything was lined out for us. I feel fine.